Hello, you beautiful people of the interweb. I hope that you're all doing well and that you're all staying healthy during this pandemic that we all are muscling through. I just wanted to take a moment to have a conversation with you about something that's important. And I was a little hesitant on doing this, but by the urging of my wonderful wife, she suggested that provide this information to you in the hopes it might help somebody who's in a similar situation as myself. And that's who I am. I'm a person who helps other people. So hopefully you'll find this information useful and beneficial to you if you are struggling with what I'm about to discuss with you. Before I get started, I want to be absolutely clear. I am not a doctor of any way, shape, or form, especially a medical doctor. So anything I'm sharing with you is just me sharing. This is not advice. It's stuff I found on my own research as I went through this journey. And just want to leave it here for you folks to start the contemplation process in your head and maybe hopefully move you in the direction of having a significant conversation with your healthcare provider. All right, that being said, let me just go ahead and jump into it. So in mid 2018, I started showing the first signs of diabetes. I wasn't on insulin at that time, and I refused to go on insulin because I felt that insulin changes your body chemistry and not in a good way. At least that's the initial thoughts I had from talking with folks who actually took insulin, people I know that took insulin through my life. So kind of going through that, I talked with my doctor at the time, and he decided to put me on Trulicity, which had some effect on the blood sugar levels and the A1C levels. But around October of 18, he got sick and had to retire. So I kind of just went on my own and just was looking for another doctor. Jump ahead to April 23rd of 19. I went to Kaiser. My wife has Kaiser, so we went to Kaiser. And I had my first reading. So my A1C in April 23rd of 2019 was 13.1. Again, 13.1. Keeping in mind that the A1C for a healthy person who is not a diabetic should be less than 5.6. And they actually would like you below 6 just in general, and I was at 13.1 with a base sugar level estimated at 329 milligrams. Now, keep in mind for a healthy person without diabetes, if you're 99 milligrams or below, you're considered non-diabetic. So that was my initial reading, A1C 13.1, estimated glucose level 329. So at that point, I went on insulin, and it was something that I wasn't overly excited about. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like changing my body chemistry. So I did insulin and I tried to control diet. And in doing such, I did okay. In July 15th of 2019, my A1C dropped to 8.5 and my estimated glucose levels went down to 197. So a move in the right direction, a significant move in the right direction, but still very high and need to have, I need to work on it a little more. Then on October 23rd of 19, I got retested. A1C was at 8.2 and my estimated glucose level at that time was 189. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to do all this with insulin and diet. And and at the time I was traveling a lot for business. I was on the road a lot. That's a factor, but it's not a reason not to be healthy. So kind of working through all this and getting a bit frustrated, I'm not going to lie about it, because the diet to get me down from 13.1 to 8.2 was a significant change. I cut out all my carbs and had a hard time with that because I'm a carb guy. I like carbs. Some people are protein people, like my wife, Teresa. She's a protein person. But I'm a carb guy. I got to have carbs, otherwise I just don't feel right. I feel a lack of energy and what have you. So in March 2nd of 2020, I got retested, and my A1C was at 10.7, and my estimated glucose level was at 260. So I started to climb back up. And the doctors I'm working with, fantastic doctors, by the way, the doctors that I've been working with were concerned about that. So in talking with the doctor, by the way, in all this, they're adjusting my insulin levels up and up and up until they hit a plateau, or find that well, not the plateau, but the the point where I need to be. So in March 2nd, 2020, A1C was at 10.7 and the estimated glucose was at 260. So here comes COVID. And We locked down. We thought it was going to be for a short period of time. I ended up having to work from my office, which you see behind me. I worked full time from there. I still do. And the work I do it was a very stressful time from March 2nd to about mid-April. And just on the phones all day and what have you. And I was measuring my blood at that time, and the daily readings were still in the low to mid twos, which is not good. So I remember I was looking on my bookshelf, and I remember a book that a friend of mine wrote called The Gift of Time. And this was written by Jeff McEloley, who is a professor in the martial arts called Kaji Kempo. He has a Dragon's Den martial arts studio in Union City, California. If you're ever in the area, stop by, say hi. And in Jeff's book, he shares that he got an injury. And then in that injury, he actually took that time to make some changes and do some things that he didn't have time to do before. So as I look at the gift of time that was provided by COVID and is still being provided by COVID, I decided to make some significant changes. So in April, I decided I'm going to really focus on this diabetes thing. So I tried diet again. In May of 2020, I started exercising. I started doing P90X, the weights version of that, because I like their weight workout. I started doing walking, and then in June of 2020, continuing with the P90X weight workout, I bought a treadmill, nice treadmill, and it was one that could sustain my weight and I could actually run on. So I started doing a little bit of walking, a little bit of running, and a little bit of weightlifting, because all those things work to bring your blood sugars down and your A1C down. Now focus on the A1C, because that's the biggie. You know, that's where they start looking at, from my understanding, that's what they look at to predict strokes and things like that. So in June, got the treadmill, started doing that. But one of the other things, and that's what the essence of this video is, and I wanted to give the background so you understand where I'm coming from. Keep in mind, during all this time, I'm actually taking my blood sugars, and they're coming down. I mean, they're in the 180s, 170s on average, plus or minus 10 milligrams. Better, but not where they need to be. Then I found intermittent fasting, and it changed my life. And that's what the essence of this video is about. Intermittent fasting, there's various levels. You can do 12-12. What's the other one? You can do 10, 14-10, 16-8, 24. And what that is the first number is the amount of time that you fast, and the other number is the amount of hours that you have a window, if you will, in which you could eat and feed yourself and nourish your body. So in the research that I did, I chose to go with the 16-8 because my schedule at that time, oh, by the way, I'm up at 4 in the morning and I go to bed and fall asleep around 10 at night. So that's been my schedule for, I'll be 56, almost 30 plus years. So I wanted to work within the confines that I've already built, the structure that I already built. So when I realized I can look at this logically and say, all right, if I stop eating at 5 p.m., and I don't eat again until 9 a.m. the next day, then that will be 16 hours of fasting, and that will be 8-hour window that I can eat during the bulk of the day, in which if I structure it properly, I should be able to burn off a lot of the sugars that I take in if I do it right, and then bulk up for the fast at the end of the evening. So basically in doing this, and I'm telling you right now, it is the intermittent fasting that has got me to the levels I'm about to share with you. By doing this, my body chemistry is coming back into alignment and has for several weeks now, and that's why I wanted to share this video with you. So by doing the intermittent fasting, now I'm going on about week 6 of it, my blood sugars on average when I take my readings, are 105 to 110 plus or minus 5 points. 105 to 110 on average, plus or minus 5 points. For those of you who are out there who are diabetics or dealing with this diabetes, you understand the significance of going from 170, 180 down to 110 in the span of 5 weeks. Matter of fact, my doctors were so impressed, they're asking me, what did you do? And I shared with them what I did, and that's why I'm sharing this video with you as well, is because I think it's important that you understand the power of intermittent fasting. So I'm going to leave you to your own research. That being said, if you have a question, direct message me, PM me, let me know, and I'll be happy to share with you the plan that I'm on. But understand that when you talk about intermittent fasting, you're talking about generally 16-8, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. They have a 1 meal a day and 2 meal a day plan. I'm on the 2 meal a day. I modified it a little bit. And again, my blood sugars on average are between 105 to 110, plus or minus 5 points. The big thing is, and that's that last reading I gave you, my A1C as of 6/29/20, so just a couple months ago, not even that, about a month and a half ago, my A1C is down to 7.2, and my average estimated glucose level is at 160. A1C from 13.1 a year ago down to 7.2. So if you're dealing with diabetes, and again, this is not medical advice, but any other health issue, really do your homework, but check out intermittent fasting. And in talking to friends of mine who are personal trainers and friends that I know who are doctors, they all rant and rave about it because that's the way the human body keeps all its chemistry in line. So that's what I wanted to share with you folks. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and either drop a comment below or shoot me a direct message or a private message, and I'll be happy to chat with you about it. So with all that, I bid you all love, I bid you all wellness, and I bid you a most enjoyable day. Enjoy.